countries. India's trade deficit with China widened to an all-time high of $99.2 billion in the March quarter, driven by a sharp rise in imports of electronics, solar cells and electric batteries.
So what's trade deficit? So let us start with the basics. So what exactly is a trade deficit? So a trade deficit happens when a country buys more from other countries than it sells to them. In simple terms, we are importing more goods and services than we are exporting. It's like spending more money than you earn at the national level. This creates a negative balance of trade which can have long-term economic implications. So how does a trade deficit actually works? So the trade involves two things actually. One is the exports, what we sell, and imports, what we buy from other countries. When we sell goods like software and textiles, but buy items like oil, electronics and mobile phones from other countries. When the value of what we buy is higher than what we sell, the trade deficit occurs. This trade deficit is a part of something bigger called the current account, which actually tracks all foreign money flows. So a negative current account often means we are spending more than we are earning as a country. So why do countries like India actually face trade deficits? Many reasons may be the reason for trade deficits. So especially for a country like India, people often prefer foreign brands and we cannot make enough of certain goods and things. The strong rupee can also make the imports very cheap and makes the export costlier. Sometimes it's due to global shift and consumer demand or government policies. So all these put together influence how much we buy versus how much we sell. So the trade deficit is not always bad. In the short term, a trade deficit means we get more choices and sometimes at a very lower prices. This can improve our lifestyle and quality of life, and it gives access to things which we cannot produce ourselves. But if this continues for a long time, so it can lead to economic problems. So what will happen if the trade deficit keeps on growing and persisting? If the trade deficits continue to grow, it can hurt us, our Indian economy, in several ways. So as an Indian economy, we need to borrow more from other countries, which increases our debt. Our currency may also weaken, which makes the imports more expensive over time. Jobs can be lost if local factories are shutting down due to foreign competition. Ultimately, it reduces the economic confidence of the country and affects our national growth. The government of India tries to control the trade deficit in multiple manners. One common tool used by government is tariff, which is a tax on the imported goods. So the tariffs make foreign products more expensive, which encourages the people of the country to buy from India. This protects local industries, which can reduce the trade deficits. However, the other countries which are affected because of our tariffs may retaliate with their own tariffs, which hurt our exports. So the tariffs need to be used very carefully and selectively. So you may ask me, what are the better long-term solutions for controlling the trade deficit? So instead of only tariffs, we need smart and sustainable strategies to overcome the trade deficit. We can increase the domestic savings, so we fund our needs without any borrowing. The government should support export-oriented industries and innovation. Improving the infrastructure and skills can make the industries globally competitive. The trade agreements with other countries can help us access new markets for our products. So are there any non-tariff options to improve our trade deficit? Countries can use things like VAT, value-added tax, instead of tariffs. They can also give subsidies to local business so that it helps them to reduce the cost. Investing in technology and logistics makes Indian goods more efficient and very attractive. The currency adjustments by the country can also make exports cheaper and imports costlier. So together, all these actions create a balanced and fair trading environment. So these international agreements, like free trade agreements, remove the barriers which boost exports. The bilateral investment treaties attract foreign companies to build and produce in India. The trade facilitation agreements make the customs faster and less costly. The regional partnerships can also help us align our standards and share the resources among various countries. The global bodies like World Trade Organization, WTO, which supports the fair trade rules that benefits all the nations. So why should an Indian care about the trade deficits? The trade deficit is not just an economic term. It impacts everyone's growth and job opportunities, product prices, and India's futures. The growing trade deficits can weaken our economy, affect the rupee, and increase the foreign control. But if we manage it well, it can open doors to new industries and global leadership. Thank you for watching Learn by Choice. Please visit our channel for more videos on NPS, financial literacy, and self-empowerment.